recording now.
Alright.
Let me make sure I'm focused up on you good, actually. Alright, cool.
I'm going to roll and let me do it under this.
Okay, roll.
I'm Robert Peters, and I'm playing the role of Mike Hillgreen, and I'm also co-directing South of Sanity. And this here is Kiwi, one of our official South of Sanity's dog.
The inimitable Kiwi.
The inimitable Kiwi.
So...
I'm going to set you down. By the way, just check out these guys. He's got kind of an Elvis snarl. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's that side of it. Yeah, just a little Elvis. As we sit here in Tupelo, Mississippi, the birthplace
Little
of
hunk of
Elvis
burning
Presley.
love.
Birthplace of Elvis Presley. Yes, sir.
Good stuff. So how did you get involved with this project initially?
I got involved in this project with through Shy Pilgrim, who I've known a long time, and we met in Los Angeles. Getting on almost 10 years ago, I think, something like that. And so she sent me the script, and I read it, and I was laughing out loud from the cover page, which read based on some real shit. And to me, I thought, well, I don't think I've ever heard that. And so then when I read it, I'm thinking, man, is this real? And she told me stories about her family before, but man, oh man, when I read the script, and then she sent me some videos of the family, I was in.
And y'all had acted together previously to this?
We'd acted together, knew each other socially, and just became good friends in a little town, a little quaint little town in Los Angeles.
Nice. I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a nice little village.
So how does the Tupelo nightlife compare to that in L.A.?
I wish I knew. I've seen this much of Tupelo because we've been shooting, starting late and shooting late, and so I really have not gone out at all. I mean, I've got some funny hotel stories, but the actual town of Tupelo, except for I did go to the Neon Pig, which I thought was awesome. And I also, one day we had catered from a local barbecue place in Tupelo called Crossroads. The cinematographer had brought in for lunch, and no exaggeration, that's probably the best barbecue I've ever had anywhere. Amazing.
Ash and barrels, better watch out, huh?
Well, yeah, barrels and ashes. Yeah.
There we go.
Barrels and Ashes, which is the top barbecue place in L.A. But these ribs were just, man.
And those have been sitting around for a while too.
Yeah, and the sweet tea, you're Mississippi, I just, yeah.
Y'all don't have the diabetes tea out there, huh?
Diabetes, is that the diabetes tea? Yeah, sweet tea. That's good going down.
Are you an Alabama fan? Do you have any relation to SEC sports?
I'm glad you asked that. I grew up in Oklahoma, and I graduated from University of Oklahoma, so I'm partial in terms of college football, if we're talking college football, or if we're just talking about the state of Alabama. But I lived in Alabama for a little over a year. I actually did children's theater in Birmingham, Alabama. So I love Alabama. I love the people, and I had a great experience there. And I learned a lot about it. I mean, they have one of the best. I'm looking right at your Shakespeare T-shirt, which I may have to do a cut to because I love that shirt. Alabama is one of the best Shakespeare companies in the country, in southern Alabama. So, but yeah, I'm football. I won't say I'll go that far, but I'll say just because I'm a Sooner.
Yeah. I don't really follow the football myself.
Oh, don't you?
I'll watch it if it's on, but
sure. Watch some Oklahoma football. That'd be good for you.
Yeah. So comparatively speaking, how fucked up is your family?
Wow.
Does this just normalize the
That's
experience?
a great way you worded that question. Really kind of, comparatively speaking, how fucked is mine? Well, I will say this, and this show to me really embraces that. It embraces two things. It embraces the fact, or embraces first my theory that dysfunctional, in terms of families, can just be thrown from the vocabulary. I don't even know what the definition of dysfunctional families is, because we've all got shit, that we go through with our family, and I think what I particularly like is the Southern family, which is a little different, in a rural Southern family, and so comparatively speaking, I don't think we had as many of the adventures that you're going to see with the Hillgreens on Southern Sanity, or South of Sanity. But I don't think you're going to see some of the adventures that you're going to see with the Hillgreens on South of Sanity. I got a fly buzzing around.
That's all right.
But I think we definitely, in my family, had our share of dysfunction and our share of wild. I'm the youngest of five brothers, and my two oldest brothers grew up in the '60s when things were a little wilder.
So all the rules were pretty much out the window by the time you
Well,
came
I
through.
think there were plenty of rules broken.
Yeah.
In my family, sure.
It's always a good time. Yeah, I think dysfunctional is probably the new normal these days.
Yeah, right. Isn't that right? Dysfunctional is the new normal. Maybe that's a tagline for something.
Name
right
for
there.
your show right there.
Yeah. Abnormal's the new normal.
Right.
Here comes Kiwi again.
Hey, Kiwi, come here, bud. So, have you ever done gummy bear methamphetamines? Is this a real thing? Can you speak to this?
Yeah, my mom and I used to do a lot of gummy bear meth.
Until you found PCP?
Yeah, until we moved on to PCP. No, in fact, I don't think I've done many gummy bears even without the meth. So, I guess I'm learning on that, so I can't do method meth.
Have yet to have the pleasure, huh?
Method meth. I'm having to, but it is funny to have people on set who know exactly what meth has to offer in gummy bear form, and it's good to have consultants that we do have. Authenticity, if you will.
Authenticity is important.
Exactly.
So what have you learned from the experience of working with Colin and Carter?
Well, Colin and Carter. Okay, so I want to go back, because before I came out here, I'm reading a script with these two boys who cuss, and they just say pretty much anything with very little filter, very little editing. I'm thinking, boy, do you want to really, write kids that talk like that and kind of, gratuitously show something? I'm kind of on the fence. Then Shy sends me videos of these kids, and it is spot on. I mean, that's how they are. They've got their own rhythm and their own, which I think is cool. I'm sure some people are going to be offended by the profanity, but first of all, I like the fact that kids are talked to in an adult way, or treating them in many ways as adults, or trying to, educate them, but also the humor of what these kids say. It's gold. And on this set, it's been sort of like finding it's been funny for me as a director, directing with Shy. It's all about who's going to be the Carter whisperer of the day, or the Colin whisperer of the day, because it's lightning in a bottle. And the only other comparison I can give you is Jabbo, who you'll meet in the show. And Jabbo was just the truest Southerner, who makes moonshine. And so, you don't want to. A
little four-wheeler going by.
Yeah, we had a little passerby there out here in Tupelo, Moorville. So you don't want to rein these people in. You want to give them as much room to be themselves as you can. So that's been the fun of Carter and Colin particularly. It's just, apart from what we're trying to get them to say scripted, we've got some moments of gold where they just go into their own zone, and we just try to capture that lightning in a bottle. But yeah, truly, it is finding the Carter and Colin whisperer of the day to get them to do what we need them to do.
And do you have kids of your own?
No, no, I've got nephews though. And I've got a niece. And my nephews, it was fun. I did a movie radically different from this film, but did a movie where my nephew got to play my son, and that was a lot of fun.
Nice. What have you taken away from this whole experience? What are you going to remember the most?
Well, in these kinds of things, you always feel like someone's going to say something nice about how great everybody was to work with and all that. But this truly was a joy with everybody. The cast and crew. This is, it's one of those where a lot of us are here as a labor of love to try to make something that we think is going to be entertaining and fun. And I'm taking away a great experience. I've never been to Tupelo. It's birthplace of Elvis, and I love the Southern world, and I love that this show has the opportunity to hopefully, humorously, and in a way that brings you in further into the culture of Alabama and Mississippi and things that are going on definitely today, because this is it's real, and so it's based on some real shit. And it's funny because it's gonna be some of those times where people are gonna go, I don't believe that, and you better, because I've seen it, and it's kind of life imitates art, imitates life. So I'll be taking that away and taking away with it the hope that this thing gets legs and people want to see it.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add? Kind of questions you want to feed?
No, I do want to say, what do I want to add? Oh, it's, what do I want to add? Maybe, it's life in Mississippi and Alabama. If it can be simpler and more complex at once, I kind of find that I think the characters that inhabit these small towns in Mississippi and Alabama, I could just sit and listen to them for forever, because their take on life can be equally as profound as any New Yorker or somebody that's traveled the world or whatever. Some of these people have probably been here their whole lives and maybe never even left, Mississippi or Alabama at any time. And yet somehow they have a perspective that I find fascinating, and I want to bring that. I love it. And me being from Oklahoma, it's not too far from that.
William Faulkner said, to understand the world, you must first understand a place like Mississippi.
Man, love that. And I love that Faulkner's from Oxford, which is, 40 minutes away from here, or something like that?
The way I drive.
The way you drive. For normal people, how far is it?
About like an hour.
I think Faulkner would appreciate that. And that is an interesting thing. You got a William Faulkner from small town Mississippi. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I can't really. That's the end of my list.
Seems like there was something else I wanted to tell you. I might have written it down. Let me check my notes.
You're fine.
My notes on my phone. Let's see what I did here. I think I know what I want to say.
You can just feed me the question if you want.
Maybe ask me to describe the Hill Greens, describe and my character in general.
Okay. So first of all, tell us about your take on the hill greens, both the pill greens and the hill greens. How does one begin to tell the difference?
Well, you really don't tell the difference. I mean, it's just other than you get to see the hill greens on camera, you may not get to see the pill greens on camera. But it is. Shy has very wisely mined, uh, you know, the dialogue that takes place between her brother and sister-in-law and nephews, and so it's all there, and so it's just, and and Jabbo, who's her father-in-law, you know, it's all there. But if I had to say of a running theme, there's a good, healthy stubbornness with pretty much everybody, but it's shown in different ways. But it kind of reminded me of my brother, one of my brothers, who would sometimes ask me for advice, and I'd give him an A, B, or C, and somehow he always managed to pick D. And I said, well, there really wasn't a D in there. You're asking my advice, but so occasionally I'll see these kinds of conversations, whether they're, trying to figure out how to handle business at the flea market, because I play Mike, who, runs his business at the flea market. There may be, I'll be honest with you, maybe some other business going on at the flea market. We'll get into that later. But the idea of everyone kind of having their own stubbornness and their own, way of doing things, and how they sort of resolve their problems is pretty interesting.
And how would you describe how Mike fits into that dynamic, your character?
Well, Mike's definitely at least for sure in his mind, ruler of the roost, the king of his domain, his castle, his flea market, his house, and it's they have these family meetings appropriately in the kitchen, as most families do, where he lays down the law, and maybe some of them take it to heart, and some of it kind of just goes over. But he starts most of his family press conferences, let's call them, with we had some shit happen today. Whatever shit went down, that's how he starts it out, by just getting on the table. We had some real shit happen today, and here's how we're gonna fix it. I'm fixing to fix it. That's how he does it. I'm fixing to fix it. But he's a short-term guy. I was talking to Mike's wife in real life, and we were asking her how the difference is, and how they deal with problems, and it's kind of, to me, it's a lot like the basic men and women rule. Mike is all about the short term. We got to fix what's happening today, and she's more about how does this affect what's going to happen a month from now or a year from now, and he wants nothing to do with that. Doesn't even want to think about it. Doesn't even want to consider it. There's no cause and effect. It's just the cause of the day, and let's troubleshoot that, and we're done. Get her done. Done in one.
And I guess lastly, what's your favorite brand of Vienna sausages?
Oh, Vienna sausages are just good. I say that as Mike. I say that as me.
Just can't go wrong, huh?
Can't go wrong. I mean, are there really different brands of Vienna sausages? That's a good question.
Might be something for the endorsement list.
Thing, man.
Step in, Carter. Watch out for these lights, Carter. Watch out.
Here, sit up on my lap. Here, come here. This is my son Carter. But he's Rowdy. This is Rowdy. Here comes Kiwi again. But meet Rowdy. Rowdy, say hi to the people out there.
Hey.
And then we got Kiwi back in there. And Rowdy, come up here for a second.
You only got about 20 seconds left on this take.
All right, Rowdy. Tell them, how would you describe me as a dad? How would you describe me as your TV dad? Okay. So you can feel the love. You can see what's happening right there. What else? What are you doing?
Come get this.